There's an old story told by the villagers of a small mountain town. Most people have forgotten it. Others refuse to speak about it. But according to the elderly residents who still remember, everything began with a family of three: a father, a mother, and their young son. It was many years ago when the family arrived in the village for a short vacation. The town was beautiful, surrounded by mountains, forests, rivers, and waterfalls. It was the kind of place where people escaped from the noise of the city. The air was cool, the water was crystal clear, and the scenery looked almost unreal. On their first day, the family enjoyed everything the town had to offer. They visited famous spots, took photographs, shared meals together, and spent hours swimming in a large waterfall hidden between the mountains. The villagers remembered seeing them. They looked happy, especially the boy. He was full of energy, always smiling and always laughing. That night, the family checked into a small motel near the edge of town. The cool mountain air made sleeping easy. The night was peaceful, quiet. Nothing unusual happened. At least, not yet. The next morning, they decided to visit a famous mountain viewpoint. The trail was difficult, but the view from the top was said to be breathtaking. The family packed their things and started climbing. The path became steeper as they went higher. Hours passed. Eventually, they stopped beside a clearing to rest. The father drank water. The mother sat on a nearby rock. Meanwhile, their son wandered around, playing by himself. He picked up small stones from the ground, throwing them into the bushes, the trees, and the surrounding forest. The parents paid little attention. They thought he was simply entertaining himself. Then something happened. A loud cracking sound echoed through the forest. The sound was so strange that even birds suddenly flew away. The forest became silent, completely silent. The parents looked toward the trees, but saw nothing unusual. The boy continued playing, or at least, that was what they thought. A few minutes later, the mother called for him. No answer. She called again. Still nothing. Suddenly, panic began to spread. The boy was gone. The father immediately searched the area. The mother screamed his name. They searched between trees, behind rocks, along the trail. But the boy was nowhere to be found. Minutes felt like hours. Then the father heard something. A faint crying sound, coming from deeper within the trees. The parents followed the sound, slowly, carefully, until they reached a small clearing. And there, beneath an enormous ancient tree, they found their son. He was sitting on the ground, crying uncontrollably. His face was pale. His clothes were covered in dirt. When his mother hugged him, he refused to look at her. The father asked what happened. The boy said nothing, not a single word. According to local legends, the tree where they found him was known as the Sleeping Tree, an ancient tree feared by older villagers. People believed it was cursed. Many claimed strange things happened around it. Others said spirits lived beneath its roots. Most villagers avoided the area completely, especially after sunset. The family knew nothing about these stories. They simply rushed back to town. The trip ended that same day, and they returned to the city. But according to the villagers, that was only the beginning. A few weeks later, the family returned unexpectedly. The parents looked exhausted, terrified. They asked locals if there were any curses connected to the mountain, particularly to an old tree near the hiking trail. The villagers were shocked. When asked why they wanted to know, the couple explained something disturbing. Their son had changed completely. He no longer smiled. He no longer laughed. He barely spoke. Sometimes he would stare at walls for hours. Other times he would sit awake throughout the night, watching the darkness outside his bedroom window. The worst part was what he said one evening. His mother asked him what was wrong. The boy slowly looked at her and replied, "That is not my name." The room became silent. His mother thought he was joking, but he continued staring at her, without blinking, without emotion, as if he truly did not recognize her. The villagers listened carefully. Many became frightened. Some told the family to leave immediately. Others advised them to seek help elsewhere. Eventually, the family returned to the city, and nobody saw them again. Months later, terrible news reached the village. The entire family had reportedly been found dead inside their home. Authorities believed it was a robbery. Money and valuables were missing. The case seemed straightforward at first, but strange details quickly emerged. Security cameras surrounding the neighborhood showed nothing unusual. No unknown visitors, no suspicious vehicles, no signs of anyone entering or leaving. It was as if the crime had happened without a culprit and without a trace. The investigation continued for months, then years, but no one was ever identified. No one was arrested. No one was charged. Eventually, the case faded from public memory. Just another unsolved mystery. But not for the villagers. They believed something else had happened. Something far darker. Many whispered that the boy who returned from the mountain was not the same boy who left. They believed whatever was found beneath the sleeping tree had followed him home. Others claimed the real boy never came down from the mountain at all. That whatever returned with his parents was something pretending to be their child. And according to one final legend, the story did not end there. Some hikers have reported seeing a young boy standing among the trees near the old mountain trail, always alone, always watching. He never speaks. He never moves closer. And whenever someone tries to approach him, he disappears behind the trees, as if he was never there. The villagers still avoid the sleeping tree, even today. And whenever children visit the mountain, parents tell them the same warning: never throw stones into the forest. Never wander away from the trail. And if you ever hear crying beneath the old tree, do not follow the sound, because some people believe the boy beneath the tree is still waiting, and he is not alone.